and I'm an Associate Director with Aspen People. I look at two of the main parts of the business. One is the interim service that we have recently started up, and the other is the charity and non-profit division at Aspen. This in particular is something that's quite close to my heart, and I'm really lucky that I'm able to work with so many great organisations to recruit with them. I started my career off in the third sector many years ago, and as I've gone through my career, I've joined a number of different boards, and I'm currently involved in a few different things. I'm chair at an organisation called Say Women, and we work with women who are survivors of childhood sexual abuse and are either homeless or at risk of being homeless due to their experiences. I'm also more recently a trustee for the Judy Murray Foundation, and we work with people in rural locations and people in disadvantaged locations throughout Scotland to use tennis as a vehicle really for social change, and kind of all the benefits that come along with playing a sport like tennis as well to help people live their best life. I'm also involved in Scottish Women in Business, and I'm the president there at the moment. And we're a group of women from all different types of businesses across Scotland, different sectors. Some people there are corporate, some are kind of one-woman bands and everything in between. And we're really there as a base for business women to come to talk to each other, get ideas and tips, and kind of share stories. So Aspen Interim is something that is fairly new to us at Aspen. We've always worked with clients to help them for shorter term contracts and always been as flexible as possible with people. But what we've done this year, which I think was brought to the fore by COVID mainly, is work on an interim offering that is able to work with people who want to work as contractors. So someone who is able to either work on and build a portfolio career, or someone who is quite keen to work maybe a few 3-month contracts in the year or something like that. So we're able to accommodate candidates that we might not have been able to work with before, just because we weren't set up necessarily to do that type of work. So that means we're able to work with clients who maybe have situations come up that they didn't foresee. It's very easy to plan for mat leaves, or if someone's away for a few months, but it's not always things that you foresee. And we were finding that more and more over the last few months with COVID, that clients were coming to us to ask us for some shorter term cover or more flexible cover. So we decided to start a new piece of the business, Aspen Interim, who are completely set up to work in that way. So we can work on any length of contract at any kind of given time. We've got a great database of contractors there. However, I think the USP for us is that we will actually put time and energy into searching for that person as well. So the same kind of level of service that you would get on our fully retained high profile roles, we would also put into the interim piece. So that means that we're able to be really flexible, and we're able to work with what our clients need, but also what our candidates need as well. And we're fully geared up to work with contractors, and we can take all that kind of payroll and all that stuff over to us. So it's seamless, and it just makes life easy for all sides. I decided I wanted to join Aspen because of all the great stuff I heard about them in the sector. I was working a little bit with charities before, but that's where I wanted my focus to be. That's where I wanted my career to go fully. And then I was working somewhere else, and I had a look around the market and thought, right, where do I want to go and work? And there was only one place I wanted to go, which was Aspen. And that was because of just the great chatter about them in the third sector in particular at the time. But I think as I was doing more and more work myself, I came over Aspen a couple of times, and I think what I really liked about them was that I knew who they were. I liked their values and what they were doing. So I approached the previous MD at the time and kind of said, I need to come and work here. You need to give me a job, kind of thing. And we got there in the end. I'm here, I've been here for a while now. And I think what I like about Aspen is my values and the values of the business are quite similar. We're a profit-driven organisation. You know, there's no getting away from that. We're a business, but we're also a values-driven organisation as well, and that comes across in all the work we do, not just in the third sector, but everything that we've done, everything private sector, public, and all the work that we do in the non-profit stuff as well. And I think the way we treat candidates, even ones that maybe don't get through the process, even at the first hurdle, we make sure that everyone gets a opportunity for feedback, and I spend quite a lot of time on feedback calls with people, and more often than not we get told, you know, people are really grateful for those calls, because sometimes there's maybe one or two things they can do, or there's something they wouldn't have gotten for them to go on to their next kind of application or their next job opportunity. So I think it's really important that engagement happens. I think at the end of the day, we're all human, you know, and quite a lot of my job is giving people bad news in terms of them not getting the job that they wanted, or not being able to progress for whatever reason. But that's quite often counterbalanced when I'm able to give someone something constructive. And that for me is, sometimes it's quite a difficult phone call or Zoom call to have with someone, but quite often it comes out the other end as something that's quite positive. And that's right across the business. We all do that with clients and candidates who have gone through a process with us or who want to go through a process with us. As well, I think there's a real advisory, consultative approach from Aspen, in the true sense of the word of being a consultant. So using our expertise and our experiences and being able to genuinely help companies who maybe either struggled recruiting, or they're not quite sure what the management structure should be, or should this role be like for like, should we change it, you know, are we brave enough to change it? And a lot of that stuff happens once we've been able to go in and speak to them about what they really need and what they really want. Sometimes acting as that kind of extra voice, asking questions that maybe someone internally couldn't ask or wouldn't ask, and then making sure that we're doing the right thing and things are done properly. And that's something that's very important to me throughout everything that I do, but it's something that I see every day happen in Aspen. And you know, a few years ago when I did approach the MD to get myself a job at Aspen, basically, that came through really quickly from speaking with him. Then when I met everyone else through the interview process and all that kind of stuff, I could really see that this was the place I wanted to be and stay. And I think it's really important that when you're doing this kind of work, and you're trusted by both sides of the table to represent properly and to work in someone's best interests, that these things come through. And that's what I hear constantly in feedback from people that we know and contacts of my own that I've worked with, maybe not myself, but someone else in the business. And these are the same things I hear time and time again, which is really reassuring and great to hear.